The Miz, the wrestler.
The Miz, the musical.
Fire Festival, the movie.
And the greatness of Aziz Ansari.
All that and more in this week's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the Nerdy Things podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kevin, and I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Jules. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And Tim. How are you, Tim?
What up?
We are here again recording, and it is spectacular. We're going to have a great episode. I'm calling it now.
We're recording in the morning.
Oh,
Confident Kevin.
Confident Kevin, yes.
Is
Very
that
much
alliteration, even though it starts with two different letters?
Yes, because I spell confidence with a K.
Yeah,
course
I was
you
going
do.
to say I do that too, but whatever. I kind of wanted to start off. I have a question for the guys, for y'all, and maybe a question for the audience to ponder and things like that. So, and it's going to tie into something we used to do way in the early ones. So, so there's ride-sharing apps, right? There's Lyft and Uber and all that. There's a probability that you've come into contact with one of these. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I own a car, but have y'all ever used Lyft or Uber at
Humble
all?
brag.
I personally have a car, but
I thought there was
No.
more to that, but I guess not.
no, there is. There's a lot more. There's a story, and I'm just asking if y'all have taken a Lyft or an Uber.
Yes.
I have not.
Okay, whatever. I took some ride-sharing apps, Lyft, specifically this weekend because it was pretty busy, and I did a few drives, I guess. And I was wondering what's the proper etiquette for driving in a Lyft or an Uber, because I've been told that I was wrong, I guess, because I wanted to sit, or I usually sit in the front with the person. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, people are saying like, no, you got to sit in the back. It's kind of like they're
sit
chauffeuring
in
you
the front?
around. Yeah, I sit in the front.
That's a psycho move.
Why?
Yeah, that's
a
you gotta
power
be Miss
move.
Daisy, man. You got to let him drive you around.
No, that's I'm
Why?
going to kill you,
That's
Uber driver.
It's his
Lyft
personal
driver.
car.
That's why I'm sitting in the front right now. Be
People sit
very
next to
scared
him all
of
the
me.
time.
So interestingly, in relation to that, there was a little like Lyft or Uber advertisement. I forget which company it was, but they did one where David Ortiz, and then another one where Rob Gronkowski was in disguise and then giving people Uber rides. And then they would try and get him to talk about them or blah, 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 blah. And the people kept getting in and sitting in the front seat. And if you looked at the comments on Facebook or whatever social media it was shared on, all of the comments said there's no way that this is authentic. It's definitely staged because nobody sits in the front seat of an Uber.
Yeah,
So that was the
No.
universal response.
I guess. No, I mean, it's really, I have anxiety or whatever, and it makes me feel awkward in general just getting a ride from a stranger. But I find, I don't know, feeling like he's my friend or they're my friend and sitting up in the front makes it a lot easier for me to cope with this whole experience. So that's why I just kind of do it. I just kind of get in the front, and everybody that I told this story coming after right now that why were you sitting in the front? Okay, so basically I was sitting in the passenger side of his town car, and I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? I just want to just take me where you're going, where I'm going, whatever.
I think it's even better
And-
that it's a town car.
Yeah, it was great. And he was like hogging the armrest pretty much, and I didn't
because it's
really
his
know how to
armrest,
tell
and you
him.
came in and took it.
100% his armrest.
He's like doing that because he's basically saying, what is this psycho doing in the front seat with me? Get the hell in the back, man.
No,
He was
no.
ready to attack. I wouldn't have been surprised if he had stabbed you at some point just
There's
defensively.
probably a gun in his armrest thing, like in the thing that folds up, and he was getting ready to jump into action when you tried to stab him because you're a psycho in the front
man.
seat of an Uber.
It was a Lyft, by the way.
So,
Whatever.
have you ever heard of Uber Eats? Where you can actually
Yes.
have them pick up food for you?
I
Yeah.
have.
So Jules is the type to have them get 2 meals and then have the guy sit down with him.
Yeah, I'm down. Sure. Like pick you up something for yourself. Break you off a piece. Why not?
Guy comes
Go
to the
for
door.
it.
You have a date, sir? No, come on in.
Have a seat. There's candles, there's
I've been waiting
wine,
for
there's some
you.
Barry Manilow playing.
But okay, he was hogging his armrest.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
he had his arm in the
And
armrest, yes.
And yeah, I don't know. That was just deliciously awkward for me. Hey yo, I said it. That I had to like sort of like hug myself because I didn't know where to put my other arm.
Because
so I was
no
just
one
kinda,
else
like, had my
would.
arms. Right? Yeah, I was just alone in that moment.
Yep.
With this random man.
So that qualifies. You are deliciously awkward, Jules.
Yeah, that was my deliciously awkward. We haven't done one of those in a while. Do we have a theme song for that? Theme song right here, if we have it.
Theme song after
so-
this segment.
Yeah,
You're on fire this morning.
no, because you didn't.
Thanks
you
for
didn't know where I
listening,
was
Nerdy
going
News,
with it.
folks. So happy you're here
They're
with
like,
us.
oh man, what is he talking about? And it's like, oh, deliciously awkward. I remember that from episode 3 or whatever.
Yeah, this is like those the more you know commercials with the star.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
have
me.
you heard of this? I think it's Uber that's going to create like Uber flights or something like that.
Yes,
where
I saw
gonna
that.
get,
Boy, they're gonna
you know,
fly
little
for
private
you?
planes and pick you up.
Uh-oh.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's like giant drones that'll drive you around, self-driving
Oh,
drones.
jeez.
This just seems really
don't know.
scary and not at all good.
Yeah. How are they gonna map that? Like, oh no, it hit a tree that wasn't there a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be weird.
Live feed, live camera feed.
Nah,
all
man,
the
that's too
time.
tough.
All of them. Yeah.
Well, it's okay because Jules will just say, "Can I have the remote control, please? I'd like to drive it myself."
Yeah, can I drive it for you guys? Dude, whatever. Yeah. I don't know, man.
All right. Anywho, on to nerdy news.
Nerdy
Nerdy news.
news.
Cue the theme song.
Nerdy news.
At 6:00.
Hey, so we talked a little bit about this off podcast this week. I like to say that off podcast.
Off podcast.
He-Man, Masters of the Universe, famous cartoon based on a toy that was created to create a cartoon in the 80s. They're definitely going ahead with another movie. It is not starring Dolph Lundgren. It is also not
man.
being directed by McG, which was
Aw,
the original
man.
plan. Kevin seems upset by this. Kevin?
I like McG. He did a lot of stuff on Supernatural, the TV show, and I think some of the episodes he was involved with were pretty decent episodes. I don't really know that he's a good movie director, but TV show's great.
Well, this, to be clear, is He-Man the movie, not He-Man the TV show.
No, I know.
So I was kind of excited that it wasn't McG because I haven't seen him make a movie that I really thought was good. But I was more excited about the stuff or the news surrounding it. It seems like they're taking this seriously. They're giving it a December release date, which is obviously a big time of the year to release a big, or they're calling it tentpole, movie or potential franchise. And they're taking the casting seriously. They're taking who's directing the movie seriously. So I've always said this could be a good movie. We talked about this, 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm excited that this is actually happening, and it looks like they're actually taking it, like it should be taken as a serious thing. That could be a good movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
I hope they said it all in Eternia. I hope we don't have any of that "We're Coming to Earth" crap that they did with the Masters of the Universe movie.
Agreed.
Give me Orko or give me death.
Famous words of, I don't know who was the famous person in history that said that. I used to know, but I've been out of high school too long.
Oh boy. What else do we have? Fire Festival. I don't know if y'all heard about Fire Festival. It was ridiculous. I don't know if I should do a whole Fire Festival. It was something headed by Ja Rule and his company or whatever.
Ja
It was gonna be
Rule. What?
yeah, no one's heard from him in forever, so I guess this is his baby and he's been doing something with it. And he wanted to have a private party or festival thing going on at a private island in the Bahamas or something, and people flew out and immediately knew that this was not something they wanted. They paid thousands of dollars. Rich people paid thousands and thousands of dollars to do this whole experience, because there was going to be gourmet food, gourmet, I don't know, living conditions, amazing living conditions, and so many headliners and all that. And it turned out it was going to be crap. So if you haven't yet, look up hashtag FYRE Fest, Fire Fest, and you can see all the photos of the gourmet food, the 2 cheese, 1 bread, tomato entree that was supposed to be worth like 1,000 whatever, and the horrible living conditions.
So that's the one that Seth Rogen and The Lonely Island are making the movie based on, something like that, right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I heard,
they're claiming essentially that Fire Festival stole their idea. They want to sue Fire Festival even farther because apparently they were already making a movie about a big giant mega festival gone bad on an island, and now Fire Festival took the idea and made it real life, which is a shame.
That's amazing.
But they're going through with the movie, which is really exciting because that concept with those guys involved could be really good.
Oh, I love Lonely Island. I even loved the one that just came out, Never Stopping, or whatever the hell it was, Popstar.
Yes.
Dumb movie, really like awful, and worth every penny. I saw it in the theaters. I was one of like 7 people total that saw it nationwide.
Talk about deliciously awkward. That if I was going to be a reviewer for that movie, my whole review would be deliciously awkward. Go see it.
There's nothing else you have to say. It had very little substance, but it was as hilarious as I expected. It was a Lonely Island song put on the screen.
As a movie, it was terrible. If you're somebody who just likes those guys and doesn't mind watching them do their stuff for an hour and a half, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for the first year and a half when I started my new job working with Tim, the only thing I would listen to was Lonely Island CDs on repeat the entire ride in.
Damn.
That was it. It was basically stuck in the CD player, but I didn't have a choice.
Andy Samberg, man, gotta love that guy.
He's great. Absolutely. He's great in what's the TV show he's doing now?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
We might talk about that a little later. Yeah.
Yep, such a good show. On the fence about getting renewed. See what happens.
I saw that.
Yeah, I heard the final episode, or the most recent episode, was spectacular. I haven't seen it in a while, though.
Yeah, the one that just aired, it's on my my Hulu queue, ready to watch. Oop, teaser for the upcoming topic today.
So another one, another news headline that we have here. Joe Johnston to direct Chronicles of Narnia: The Silver Chair. Why are y'all in? Are y'all in for the Chronicles of Narnia? Is that a franchise that y'all are following at all?
No.
Yeah, not anymore. Not since it stopped being
relevant.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, like I saw I've seen them, or I've seen some of them. At this point, it's been so long, I legit don't remember how many there are, how many there have been, which ones of them I've seen, and I can't care.
They're confused about the books too. However many there are, there's like 7, I think, and one of them is a prequel, and whatever, the whole thing.
Yeah, you lose me when your world becomes so complicated that I need a fucking map to be able to read your books. I don't want to do it.
Man, Joe Johnston, what an up and down career as a director. Guy's got some super high highs, but some really low lows. Go look at his filmography. I mean, this is the guy who's responsible for Jumanji, great movie.
Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, pretty darn good movie.
Yeah.
He did Captain America, which I have mixed feelings on. But he also, and October Sky was actually like a really good, serious movie. But he also did freaking Jurassic Park 3, which was a complete waste of everybody's time.
Yeah. Wow.
Also did Hidalgo. Not very good.
No.
Interesting.
October
I don't really care about that. That's my take.
I mean, no, I was just bringing it up. Might as well for the Chronicle Narnia fans out there, all 2 of them that listen to our podcast.
Hey, just because I don't care about it doesn't mean it's not newsworthy.
No, that's true. That's true.
Another thing you might not care about is The Miz saying he wants to play DC's Booster Gold.
I care about that so little, I don't know who any of those words are.
What is a Miz?
Okay.
Is that like the musical? Because I like that.
I
Yeah,
know all
Les
of those
Mis.
words, but I don't know how they fit together.
The Miz was a musical, right?
They're thinking
Yeah.
of The Wiz?
No.
Oh.
The one with Russell
Not
Crowe
The
and Hugh
Wiz.
Jackman.
So the
Yes,
Miz,
The
he
Miz.
was-
You're
he was
right.
First
That-
seen.
I was thinking of the French version, Les Mis.
Oh, right. No, I like I like The Miz, the English version.
That's Les Mis is just him with like a mustache. That's him. Is this guy? So the Miz is a wrestler. You first saw him on I think The Real World way back in the day, and then he was like, "I want to be a wrestler."
Oh,
and all
wait,
this stuff,
that
and they
guy?
put him through.
That guy.
Yeah,
He's still a thing?
No.
He's been a thing.
He's still
he's-
alive? That's
he
another
got
one of those things.
so
He's still
good.
alive?
Okay, like I didn't like him at the beginning, but he's been in the wrestling business, and he got signed to WWE for a long time, for I don't know how many years, but he's been there, and he's like won championships, and he's been like one of their top guys for a long time, and he's a really good actor because he plays this role, this douchey kind of whatever, full of himself, beautiful person, and he plays that kind of role, and he plays it really well, and I don't know. I think it wouldn't be bad to have him there as a Booster Gold. That's sort of the same thing. So, nope, nobody cares. All right, cool.
I mean, honestly,
He's just
like
a
I
guy.
don't even
He's
know.
doing a thing.
I love comic books. I don't even know who or what Booster Gold really is at this point.
Let me read you his little bio right here.
Yeah, or you could not, because I guess I'm finding out I don't care.
Booster Gold, created in 1986, is a DC hero who travels from the 25th century to the 20th century to stage high publicity heroics. He's often depicted as a glory-seeking showboat and is an excellent athlete.
Yeah, he's
yeah, that
the
kinda
asshole
fits-
that didn't have any superpowers and wasn't a superhero in the future and just came back for fame.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, get
That's the
Nathan
Miz.
Fillion and move on from there.
Oh, do we really want that? Do we?
Does anybody? But we're
Can
gonna get
we
it.
play the song "I Dreamed a Dream" like in the background of this whole segment?
Yes, please.
From The Miz.
Say that after. we're
Just go back
singing
and add that
over.
in, please. I appreciate
Yeah,
it. Thank you.
please.
God. So Boondock Saints is getting a TV show.
Nice.
I kind of care about that. Like I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think I
whenever-
should, and I don't think I ever saw the second one, but I kind of want the TV show.
Yeah, I didn't see the
No,
second
I
one
mean-
either. I didn't hear it was particularly good, but the first one was a very good story. Really good movie. Could be an interesting TV show if done right.
Yeah, with Norman Reedus and Sean Flannery, it's going to be pretty cool. I think they announced it. They said something. They were going to do something with it back in 2015, and then we haven't heard about it since then. And then they finally just said, "Hey, this is probably going to be a thing." And it's. I mean, I'm cool with it. It's an interesting story.
Are they going to get Norman Reedus back?
Yeah, that's the article IGN posted says that. Yeah, says Norman Reedus.
Wait,
Yeah,
if they're
but I
going to
mean-
get Norman Reedus, is that... did they just spoil The Walking Dead?
No,
He's gonna die. No.
Yeah.
No,
I think they just unintentionally spoiled The Walking Dead. And so did we, for all
They're
of
not-
you.
Oh my God! No, they'll never kill
no.
Daryl in The Walking Dead.
Do people still watch that show?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Alan does. He ruins it for me every week.
Still.
Ratings are down.
Oh God.
Hey, World War Z. We talked about World War Z, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And Kevin didn't like it?
It was okay, but it wasn't the greatest.
Jules, what was your opinion?
It was alright. I like the book.
How do you feel about World War Z 2?
I'm okay. I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm just sort of just whatever about it. It's not
David
something
Fincher,
I'm gonna rush out
talented
to
director.
see. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll watch it,
so-
but at the end of everybody, they gave themselves like super AIDS or something so as not to become zombies.
Super AIDS.
So I don't understand really where they're going
That's
to
an
go with
echo.
this.
That was
an
the
echo to that
disease that
Super
they
AIDS.
gave themselves.
Look, it was an unmarked vial, so you do the math.
They gave themselves the worst disease ever. Like, we gotta stop this zombie apocalypse. Give me Super AIDS. Bring out the Super AIDS, please. It's in
I've
the
got to
back.
stop these zombie attacks, but I need super AIDS.
That's the worst superpower. That's almost as bad as Booster Gold.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Booster
Is that what he
Gold
brought
with
back from the
Miz.
25th century? Super AIDS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
to
is.
show everybody.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. I mean, I hope they do something really good with it. And if Brad Pitt and the author of the book is still on, Matt Brooks, then sure. I mean, why not? I don't think I'm done with zombies just yet. I'm really hoping for a revitalization of some zombie stuff. Because Walking Dead killed it for me.
I think the zombie thing is just kind of over, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it won't come back, but I think for now, just like vampires, you know, I think it's zombies.
Like vampires.
It's over now. We need something else. But it's not going to be zombies for a while.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks because I was like super into zombies, and then The Walking Dead came out. I was like the only one on my campus that knew about what The Walking Dead was, episode 1 and 2, and nobody had seen it. I was like, what the fuck, guys? This is a cool show. And then now everyone's talking about it. I'm like, I kind of want something else now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot of news of things that may or may not be relevant that people still own the rights to, that they're trying to get made into other things, like this Wag the Dog TV series. We've got so many...
The Great Outdoors remake?
Yeah, Great Outdoors. We've got...
The Rampage movie?
Rampage with The Rock, which actually, you know what? Shut your mouth, because I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
'Cause A, I love The Rock, and B,
do.
I love Rampage. But
I love The Rock, but taking a weird fighting game from an arcade into a movie, I don't know, dude. Video game movies don't often translate, so...
Yeah.
no, they never do. But the fuck is the movie with the Avatar? So we've got like 17 Avatar movies coming. We've got another like 6 Alien movies in the works, when quite frankly Prometheus didn't do it for me because they didn't connect it to aliens enough, and then they also connected it to aliens way too much. I don't know. I want new content. I don't want to look through my news feed and see that they're rebooting all of this bullshit again.
Call of Duty World War II. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah. Exactly.
We've never talked about that before.
We've never had that. But I'd rather watch something original, or rather than something that was relevant 20 years ago or even 10 years ago that no one has given a shit about since, that someone just happens to own the rights to and they want to try to make money off of.
Right. Speaking of that,
I think
Mike Myers is doing a remake of The Gong Show, which I think 90% of people under 40 don't even know what it is.
Thank you.
And he's doing it in character, and now because he's doing this irrelevant show, people are asking him, why haven't we had Austin Powers 4? Which, again, for anybody probably under 23 is fairly irrelevant as well. So irrelevance brings up irrelevance to some degree. It's you're right. There's just a lot of this going around right now.
Yeah, I don't care about that either. I saw that in my newsfeed. And really, there's no need for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad nerdy news this week.
Yeah, I think they're trying out like unique IPs in the television department, and they're making a lot of these television shows because we were talking about an article on IGN again that there's a ton of endangered TV series, and there's a huge list of these endangered TV series. I haven't seen most of those. I haven't seen any of those, and I'm pretty sure those are all original ideas and original shows, and I think they're just seeing that with those poor ratings and things like that quote unquote people don't want new IPs, but we actually do. It's just not packaged the right way, or it's something it didn't reach my eyes for some reason.
Yeah,
so
and you know what? No, to that point, I'm going to interrupt you, and I don't care.
Yeah, sure.
They don't give new shows enough room to get legs. The first season of every show is always terrible, and it's usually season 2 that they hit that vision. Once they've had enough people see it and talk about it, season 2 gets better, and then season 3 and 4 are generally spectacular, and season 5 sucks. So give it time. Like there has to be, for shows that people are passionate about or could be could be great shows. There has to be some leeway there, or there should be some more leeway with it. They just pulled.
But there's so much content. There's so much fighting for our eyes every day. There's thousands of shows online, thousands of shows right now that we're gonna talk about all the Netflix stuff and Hulu and all that. But there's tons of other things we could be doing. And I think that in playing the devil's advocate on the network side, they're saying, well, this not pulling what I need to make another thing, and I need something that's going to hit right off the bat because I'm quote unquote losing money. But in the long run, they might not lose money because it will grow, like you said. In season 2, it could be a cult classic or something like that. And they're actually just thinking about the right now because there's so many things going on that want our eyes.
Yeah, well, they just pulled
they're seeing it.
Powerless from the lineup.
It could have been good, I think.
It could have. That show should have been amazing. That show changed so much from its inception to TV, and then once it got to TV, everyone realized that they were just not putting anything into it. This should have been a show that had more superheroes and more villains in it. I don't care if you give me a shitty version of Batman. Give me Batman. I'm fine with that. Like, give me some dude in spandex wearing a rubber mask, and I'm in. If you match the tone of the show, because that was a very cheesy, campy show, then give me a younger Adam West version Batman, and I'm on board. But they didn't do that at all. At best, we got a Batarang, and we got the mention of Wayne Enterprises in that this guy was tangentially related to Bruce Wayne. I want to see the actual things that happen, not have this set in some made-up city for this. Put it between Gotham and Metropolis and have Superman fly over every episode, and I'd be more on board.
I agree with you. I think with that tone of that show, and I did watch it, and to some degree enjoyed certain episodes. But yeah, they should have totally gone the campy route, and maybe not shown Batman all the time, but had like terrible versions of the Joker and terrible versions of Penguin, or things like that. Because I think kind of having the whole relation to Bruce Wayne was kind of maybe one of the more clever things of the show.
Yep,
we don't really
definitely
see him, but yeah, have Superman fly over. Have a really bad version of the Flash, but make him really campy, really cheesy, because that's what the show was anyways. So it would have played into that. Like you said, an Adam West Batman, a Joker from that era, something like that would have been really cool. But they don't. You're right. They don't give it enough time to try and find itself.
Even if they don't have the rights to Batman and Flash and all this for the TV, give me B-level characters. Give me Booster Gold. Give me. I'm trying to think of any others because I'm not a huge fan of DC. I want to be. I love their characters. I just think that their comics storytelling sucks. I think a lot of their movies are, but give me villains. Give me B-level good guys. Give me background characters. Give me the Red Hood. Give me Nightwing. Give me characters that I would recognize if I'm a fan of this stuff, and not make up a new character for me because you don't have the rights to it, or you don't want to, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, even more to that point, just of not letting the shows find legs. Look at Seinfeld. Seinfeld is widely regarded as, if not the greatest, certainly one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And its first season was like an 8-episode season or something like that, and the ratings were awful. Absolutely awful. That show in today's world would have been canceled right off the bat. Probably 3 episodes in would have been canceled. Well, season 2 came around. The show was really good. The ratings still weren't good, but the show was really good at that point. And then after that, it became, a building block for NBC's entire, weekly rotation of TV shows because it was amazing. But in today's world, Seinfeld never would have been. Wouldn't have happened. They can't all be friends. They can't all be Big Bang Theory, Yeah. It doesn't always work really that way where it connects right off the bat.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just they're putting a lot of different, a lot of their eggs in different baskets, and just really want all of them to hatch at the same time. And they're putting a lot of money in a lot of different places, and they're seeing. These are mostly like networks, right? And they're seeing that a ton of people are not watching any of that crap anymore. Not crap. Some of the shows on networks are pretty good. But a lot of people are switching over to streaming and Netflix. Like there was a what did you put? The Extremist.
Four times as many Netflix
yeah, Netflix
subscribers
has
as
4 times as many
Comcast
streamer-
subscribers.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And I mean,
there's
obviously, there's
definitely
overlap
numbers
with
there.
that, but yeah, it's not. I mean, you're not wrong, but that's actually the argument for these cable and network executives to be more dynamic, to look for good stuff rather than the shotgun method where they just throw up everything that they have and hope something works. I think they need to find more passionate people to make these shows and not note them to death until they change the show to match whatever tone they're looking for. Give them freedom. Some of the best things out there are things that like Netflix has picked up because someone was passionate about it and made a TV show about whatever. We'll get into some of that, but give them space, give them that time. I realize you're a network, you need the money, but you're going to make that money if you find that gem.
Well, look at there. I think there is a higher percentage of hits on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. Like more of the shows that they offer, I think, end up coming back for a second season or being well reviewed. And I think part of that is because they give them a season and they say, make the season, it all dumps at once, and they don't have this week to week thing of, oh, your ratings are up, your ratings are down, your ratings are up, your ratings are down. You might get canceled in your first year. No, you got your first year. The whole thing comes out and people get to digest it and make an opinion once they've seen the whole season. Mm-hmm. And then it's, they have time to say, oh, that was actually really good. I mean, I think of all the TV shows that I was won over by the end of the first season as opposed to the first, couple episodes. And, if it wasn't treated correctly, those show wouldn't have come back. So I think when Netflix does it, they have the advantage of being able to give everybody the whole season at once. Let the consumer digest the whole thing and then come back with a response, not just episode by episode by episode, week after week,
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some like bad episodes. Not every season is perfect, and then they kind of judge that off of like, oh, well, they stopped watching here and stuff. Well, it wasn't the greatest episode. Let's just wait, just chill out. Let's see where it goes. Let's see if they like it or not. So
yeah, tap the brakes a little bit.
Yeah. Moving on to another headline that I didn't post in our chat, but it was pretty big. I don't know if I say the Dark Overlord. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. So hackers have hacked Hollywood and they've held them hostage. And I saw this video late last night, recapping On the Know on YouTube. So dozens of TV shows, they've threatened to release ahead of the premiere a ton of different, I don't know what, just a bunch of, what do they have? Let's see. They have 36 TV series and 1 film, including It's Always Sunny, Portlandia, and NCIS Los Angeles. So this group or person, the Dark Overlord, is what they're calling themselves. It's a hacker group, and they released 10 episodes of the new Orange is the New Black season ahead of its release this summer. They were stolen last year from a post-production studio, and it said there are dozens of other shows stolen, not just from Netflix, but they put out a statement saying that they've stolen from ABC, National Geographic, and Fox. So this dark hacker group, Dark Overlord, they've hacked Hollywood, and they released some episodes, and they're threatening to release more if they don't pay up. And Netflix hasn't responded. I mean, they responded with a tweet, but like they haven't, given them any money or anything or whatever.
And I don't think
they
should. I don't think you should respond kindly to something like that. Honestly, like that's bullshit to me. Someone should find that guy and just punch him.
Well, what we're going to find out next is that it's not a hacker group, it's one person, and that now Vin Diesel is working with them.
That's...
Get the team together, let's stop them.
They took the new Triple X. They took the new Triple X movie. So they have that with them, with him. So it might be Vin Diesel on his side. You don't know.
I'm still waiting for the Triple X Fast and the Furious crossover.
But they're the same guy, though.
What was the crossover we came up with yesterday? It was a really good... the Fast... what was it? Fast and the Furious Road.
Fast and the Furious Road, yep.
Yes, because you get... Charlize Theron in her new face is the villain in both.
Yeah, Cypher becomes Furiosa.
All right.
We're
Yeah,
full
it
of
was-
Fast
that-
9, Fast
It was
Furious.
just it was a look into
crossovers.
the future.
Oh, okay. Down the road. You should pitch that. Pitch that to them. Send them an
They're
email.
already doing it.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry. I didn't know. So yeah, that's something that's going on in Hollywood right now. I mean, I don't think I don't know what he stole from National Geographic, but I mean, what could it be possibly? Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of them are gonna respond to this Dark Overlord or anything because he just wants money, and I don't think it's gonna hurt that much. I mean, there's a divide, of course, of people that saw the new episodes of Orange is the New Black because they really want to see it, and there's people that are like, no, we're gonna wait on Netflix, and that's cool. But I don't think it's gonna hurt them that much. I mean, I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt at all. Really, what's going to happen, a lot of these people that are downloading it illegally also pay for Netflix. So what's
Yeah.
the difference? It may
Right.
hurt the numbers of people that watch it as far as Netflix is concerned, but
But season
by that
5,
same token, they're not going to cancel it just based on that.
no, and it's been going on for a really long time. Do you want to talk about the 2 trailers that we have here?
Yeah, definitely.
So are we doing this? Because that Statesman looks really good.
State
That Statesman drink.
Yeah, so when we decided this week off air that when the new Kingsman Golden Circle comes out in theaters, we are going to do our review episode of that while drinking the Statesman Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey by Old Forester that they have decided to market with this movie. We have a friend, Tim and I, that wants to be on with us, mainly just so that he can drink. But I think it's going to be a really good time. It's going to be a ton of fun, a lot of yelling, and probably followed up by a first date episode.
Yeah, most likely.
Oh no.
It's going to start out like this. So I saw The Kingsman last night, and it was awesome, and it's going to end up, so the bad guy in the end is just so...
Yeah, every time we say Kingsman,
where's
we
my
all take a
shoe?
drink.
We're going to become Jabba the Hutt at the end of the movie.
We should make it a game for the listeners. Like every time we say a certain word, we all have to drink, and then the listener has to drink as well.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
cool.
I've already got a word in mind. We will win. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
that's really good. That's really good on them to market this new bourbon, and you know what I saw they had like a flask with the Statesman on it, and what you call it, a glass with Statesman on it. It looks really cool, and
Yeah.
I'm totally down.
It's kind of
It's a
neat.
good cross-branding idea. I like it.
Exactly. You don't usually see something like this, but where they're coming to the States, and it looks like the Statesman's headquarters is in a distillery. I'm in. I'm on
Very
board.
cool,
Like, this
yeah.
makes sense to me, you know?
They tried doing this in Anchorman 2, where they did raw and burgundy scotch, but scotch is a little bit more difficult to make into a good drink, and a little bit more expensive. And they tried to make it inexpensive, and that just turns out to really bad scotch. So I'm excited about the bourbon idea, was not excited about the raw and burgundy scotch idea.
Scotch.
Down into my belly.
And then, the other trailer was The Dark Tower. I just saw
Dark
that this
Tower.
morning.
Was that a trailer or the whole movie?
That was the whole movie, I'm pretty sure. I think that was a
thought so.
fan film.
Yeah.
It was 3 minutes, but it didn't feel like 3 minutes. I don't know. It was pretty interesting, and like what the whole thing that we're saying, that they show the entire movie in the trailer, and yeah, that's what they do. I can pretty much figure it out. The key scenes that they're gonna do. It's a good trailer, but again, I don't know. Why do you think they did that? I mean, I had an idea that not a lot of people have heard of the Dark Tower. I mean, there's a certain niche that it's for, and Stephen King fans that it's for, but like to broaden it to everybody and for them to get the idea, I think that's why they did it.
No,
because-
you're wrong.
Oh no, what?
No,
Okay,
no, because
cool.
listen, think back on the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That was another property that really no one had heard of. No one mainstream knew
Yeah.
anything about Guardians of the Galaxy. There were comic book people and there were a couple of nerds that knew about it, but that is about it. Same type of thing we have with the Dark Tower. I read the books a million years ago. I don't think those had a real plot. And if someone could distill it down for me, I'd love that. But this movie looks like it has more of a plot, but this was the entirety of the movie. Like, this was the highs, the lows. You could have given me a teaser, and even not knowing anything about this world, I would have been on board with this. And this wasn't a teaser. This was
No.
shot for shot every beat of the movie. This was like the Spider-Man trailer for Homecoming.
And why is it released so early, right before summer? Why not just wait to release that long of a trailer until after summer, after all the summer hits come? Why are you going to try and battle with all the summer hits that are coming out?
I think trailers now are an arms race. I think a lot of people think that this is what trailers want to be, and a lot of consumers get upset if they don't know what the movie's about before they go into it. But frankly, some of the best movies I've ever seen, I knew less about than some of the movies I should be more excited about. You know, I think one of the greatest movies that I knew nothing about was Cabin in the Woods by Joss Whedon.
Oh man,
yes,
that was one. The trailer gave away almost nothing of the true plot of the movie.
I don't think anybody really knew either. I mean, I didn't know.
No.
I just saw the cabin. I just saw the cover pretty much. I was like, okay, I'll watch it, whatever. And it was this amazing movie.
And I will 100% admit that I don't think anybody that didn't know or trust Joss Whedon saw that movie. I don't think it did very well in the theaters. And so I kind of get why they think they need to give out more, but that was such a good movie because I didn't know what they were doing or where they were going with it.
Yeah, a lot of.
Well, the thing with that movie is it didn't cost very much to make. It actually made a pretty decent amount in the theater relative to what it cost. So it's considered a pretty good success. And I think part of that was because the people who went to see it were really interested. They're like, wait a second, this is a mystery. What happens in this movie? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't give anything away like they normally do.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the same thing, you know, too, with Ant-Man. Like, Marvel does we've talked about this, Marvel does a really good job with trailers, but I see the trailer for Ant-Man, and I like the action, and I like that it's a Marvel movie, and I like that Paul Rudd's in it, but it's like, I don't understand this, because I am not a huge comic book guy, like, from, you know, the comic books themselves. I like the movies, but I'm like, I don't get this movie. And I was going up to talk to Kevin about it, and I actually looked it up on IMDb, you know, after I saw the trailer, and then I see that Peyton Reed is directing it. And I'm like, wait a second, this is a comedy. I get it now. You know, I get why Paul Rudd's in it. I get why, you know, these people are in it. I'm like, this guy is a comedy director. This movie's a comedy. And Kevin's like, you're absolutely right. That's how they're going to play this. And, you know, I think that's cool when they don't give too much away about the movie, but they get you interested. And I'm watching this trailer for The Dark Tower, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I like the actors involved. The whole tone, the setting looks really good. And I'm all set to go. I'm like Googling it, trying to figure out a little bit about the backstory. And then as I'm watching the trailer, they give away the whole thing. And I'm like, man, do I really want to even go see it now? I don't know.
Then Matthew McConaughey starts talking, and I'm like, okay.
All right.
Two things. He started talking. I'm like, where's my Lincoln? I want to drive. I want to get my Lincoln. And second was, he's a villain. This is cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was really interested about that. Yeah. But then they blew it.
I know.
He has a lot of stuff. Like I don't know, his voice just gets me. I can't see him as a villain with that sort of voice.
I know. That's why I'm so interested to see how that actually plays out. I just want him to drive a Lincoln and shoot people.
Yep.
With his cufflinks and his slick back hair and his nice watch down his gravel driveway. Sorry.
Oh boy.
The Lincoln commercials are his best work, in my opinion.
Apparently they work.
They're so influential.
Stuck in Tim's head. Yeah.
When have I ever in my life wanted to drive a Lincoln until I saw one of those commercials? Never.
He's down here in Austin now, so if you want to come hang out with him, he's on the UT campus a lot.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna go check it out.
He teaches an acting class or something. He teaches some acting shit.
I hear he was driving for Uber in his Lincoln. Maybe you could sit in the front seat.
Dude, I would totally sit in the front seat with him in his Lincoln. If he picked me up in a Lincoln, if it was like McConaughey and it showed his little picture, I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
really?
I'm in.
He's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get in the front seat, and he'd be like, man, you need to get in that back seat. This is my seat, man.
I don't know what I would do. I would totally sit in the front still.
What kind of crazy dude are you?
You trying to kill me? All right.
All right. Main topic.
All right. Let's get into the main topic. So this week, we are going to talk about original streaming series.
First off, I just wanted to say like why they sort of started doing the whole original stories and things like that. I don't know if a lot of people know that it's a lot cheaper to make their own stuff than to get the licensing for
Oh, heck yeah.
tons of movies and all that. I don't know if people understand that I read an article in that was posted in 2013 by Felix Salmon that back in, what was it, 2013, that Netflix played like $1 billion or something like that. There was some ridiculous amount for all the rights to all these different movies that they had. That's ridiculous amount of money to keep all these other people's movies and shows and all that onto their site. And when they can pay so much less to create an original movie or create an original show, and it's not going to pay off right now, but with the original shows that they've done recently and throughout their whole career, it's really making them what they wanted to do was become HBO. And to become HBO, you needed a ton of original content.
Yeah, you
And
need to have
they're
that
doing that.
power behind it. And they've got their money from their subscribers, from people that were getting the discs and people that were looking at the movies and the TV shows that they had. And you're right. I mean, it was sort of a passive, almost revenue stream for them, where they're putting out millions and millions of dollars just to host these older TV shows and movies and things like that. And I think that it's been a really good shift for them. They have gotten rid of some of the older stuff that they had, and it's moved to Hulu and Crackle and Amazon and some of the others because they're all fighting over the rights of certain shows because people still watch them. Like Stargate was on Netflix for the longest time, and now it's exclusive to Hulu because Hulu paid more for the rights to it, to MGM. Check out my Stargate podcast, Chevron Locked. And
Oh God.
hey, whatever.
Okay.
And you see some of that, but recently Netflix, being the leader of it, with more than 135 original shows that they have on their series, they've been absolutely spectacular at pushing this forward. Because I went through the list of every Netflix show that's an original, and I pulled out the ones that I recognized or have seen or have interest in. And really, that list is 46 long. And I did the same thing for Amazon and for Hulu. And for Amazon, it's 3, and Hulu is 5. Amazon has 33 or more original streaming content shows, and Hulu has 44 or more.
With original stuff, are you counting like all the comedic hours, or no? Like the stand-up or anything?
No, for the most part, no.
Not that or the movies, right? You're just talking about TV series specifically.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they've got a lot of content. They've got, obviously, the Adam Sandler movies we've talked about. They do a lot of comedy specials. But the thing that's really been driving them has been the TV content. I mean, they've revolutionized we talked about it when we were talking about TV. They've revolutionized the TV programming industry.
Yeah.
This didn't exist before. This is a whole stream of shows that are winning awards that didn't exist before. And you can thank Netflix, and you can thank Kevin Spacey.
This is essentially a cable channel that is on demand with everything you've ever wanted to watch. And they're just pumping out all this content for $9 a month. I can do that. Like, HBO is $15 a month. Mm-hmm. It seems dumb not to have Netflix when you compare it that way.
When someone tells me they don't have Netflix, I'm shocked.
Yeah,
absolutely shocked. Like I said to somebody the other day, you have Netflix,
do you
right?
need a sandwich?
Like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, somebody said I don't have Netflix. And I'm like, what? No, I don't have Netflix. Why? It's $8 a month. Like, that was my answer. Why? Yeah. Why would you not have Netflix? It just seems ridiculous not to have Netflix. That's first world problems, I guess, people. But seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, I'm also somewhat floored when people don't have Amazon Prime and the Amazon Prime streaming video. And a lot of people that have Amazon Prime for shipping don't realize that it comes with the video.
Right.
I read something the other day that like 8% of the people that have Amazon Prime do it just for the shipping and have no idea that it comes with the music and the video and the other services Amazon has.
I'm surprised that it's only 8. I feel like a lot of people don't know about the Prime streaming service.
Well, I think some people know about it but don't use it too.
Yeah, I guess
think
that's true.
that's a higher number because I was talking to one of the girls we work with the other day. She has Amazon Prime shipping. She knows that there's streaming, but she doesn't use it.
Right.
So how did you want to kick this off? How did you want to go ahead with this, Kevin?
So I want to start. I figured we'd pick apart the Amazon and Hulu ones and see if there's anything about those that we've seen or are interested in, and then kind of delve into a little bit of the Netflix ones, and maybe after, if we have time, some of the Netflix movies that are there. But have either of you watched either The Man in the High Castle or Bosch on Amazon?
I've watched 4 episodes of Man in the High Castle.
No, I've not.
Yeah, so my wife and I watched the first episode of The Man in the High Castle 2 nights ago for this podcast. I mean, really, production value on it was really good, and it does a good job of keeping me interested. But I'm going to watch the rest of them, but I don't know quite where this is going. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, it's basically like an alternate history, as if Germany had won World War II, and the U.S. is split from, east of the Rockies is owned by Germany, west of the Rockies is owned by Japan. And so it's people living in this, and the main characters have a movie that shows basically like in their world, a fictionalized version of the events of World War II, where the U.S. dropped the bomb and wound up turning the tide of the war and winning. And so to them, our world is the fiction. And it's this seditious act to even own or view this movie. And so it's kind of interesting for them to, I want to see where this goes. Like there's some rebels and they're trying to figure it out. But, I know from reading a synopsis of the book that there's a little more to it than that, but I don't want to spoil anything for myself or for anybody else.
Yeah, I love how we don't want to spoil things that we haven't watched.
Right? Everybody
but
else.
Our listeners,
can,
we don't care about. If you guys haven't watched it, you're not cool enough, okay?
Sorry.
Get out of here. I would love it. It would be really great revenge if somebody who's watched that, if one of our listeners has watched that and they go and post on our Facebook this whole big, long spoiler.
Because I'd read it. I'd read every second of it.
Yeah.
That would be fair play. That would be turnabout as fair play.
And we got we had a tweet from last week from the guy, and he said Tim sucks. So
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
what's funny is sometimes when you talk, Jules, I tune you out. So
Yeah,
I didn't
cool.
hear the
Me
beginning
too.
part of what you said, and you were just talking about people who said something about us spoiling things, and I didn't think it was a real person. So
yeah.
I was reacting to this fictitious person. I thought you were talking about this hypothetical
no.
scenario.
Yeah.
And then I realized after, I just insulted some dude. I'm not
Yeah.
apologizing for it, but I didn't realize at the
It's already
time I
said
was
and
doing it. It's been said,
Yeah.
so I'll stand by it. But I may not have said it if I had understood what was going on. But yeah, dude, step up. Watch some shows in the first week. Watch some movies in the first week. Go to the movies by yourself. I get like some people, you want to bring a
got
friend.
it.
That's cool. But if it's something you're really passionate about, go see it by yourself, and then go see it a second time with your buddy. Okay, invest the $20, man. Let's do this.
We still love you,
And
though.
that's
Yeah, but thanks for listening, pal.
please keep listening. Yeah. And that's why
Or
Tim
keep
doesn't
yelling
have
at
the
us.
Twitter.
Both are fine.
We love all of it. Yeah, The Man in the High Castle, really interesting. It's not something that my wife's going to watch, so it's hard for me to really get into long marathons on it. But the stuff that I watched, super intriguing. Production value is very high. Everything Kevin said, I agree with. I really want to dig into that a little bit more. I also started watching 11/22/63, which I've been
you
meaning
talked
to
about
watch, since
Yeah.
it came out
That's
last
the Hulu
year.
original, yeah?
Yeah,
James
so
Franco.
good. Just the first 3/4 of the episode, it's really great. James Franco, what a great job by the better Franco, and he keeps you engaged. You got Scott Cooper, is it Scott Cooper? Yeah, who starts off really good. And there's some other actors I haven't even seen featured yet, but I love that time period. I love the dress. I love the culture, and it's really cool seeing an outsider explore that and delve into it. They talk about how good the food is. he's like, oh, the food is so much better. It's everything tastes better in 1963 or whatever year it is that they're in. It's really cool.
Yeah, because it was all infused with like heavy metals and DDT and all that. So
I think it's actually because it really came from a farm. Okay.
Yeah.
Like down the road, as opposed to shipped from Guatemala. So, anyways, but yeah, that was something I've been meaning to get on. Doing this podcast finally got me to start watching it, and now I want to like blow through all 8 episodes real quick because it looks really good.
That was one when it first came out, or when they were first advertising it. I didn't have Hulu. I did have Netflix, but I was with Comcast, and honestly, I thought it was a cheap ploy by Hulu and a really like a dick move to try to get people to subscribe. Now, honestly, I've since cut the cord. I have PlayStation Vue instead of Comcast, which is $30 a month. Hulu, Amazon, Netflix. And I love the streaming stuff. Like, I actually like some of the original movies on Hulu. I do like the streaming. Like the shows seem to work, and I like James Franco, so I do plan on watching this.
James Franco and J.J. Abrams together, this can't be cheesy, okay? It can't be a ploy. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Hulu watcher, and I don't know if it's for me, but like I can respect some of the shows that they have on there. I mean, like you're saying the James Franco movie or James Franco show, and there's a ton of other shows that I respect, but they're not for me. I really just use Hulu for. They have a lot of abstract animes and things like that are pretty interesting. But yeah, they're slowly building their original series, and I can get on board with that. They're trying to battle Netflix, I think, and I mean, you have to have Netflix and Hulu, I think, as the top ones. What do you think?
I mean, the other one that just came out is The Handmaid's Tale. My wife and I watched that the same night we watched The Man in the High Castle. And that's another like dystopia future where women can't, or like only 2% of the women in the world can even get pregnant. So they start kidnapping them and forcing them to sort of procreate with people who want to have children to continue their genetic line. And I think it's a fascinating, horrible look at people and at what people are capable of.
I mean, that's how the Walking Dead sort of started out, as just I think in zombie movies in general, they just kind of explore people and the way they react to this sort of world ending. And I kind of love that sort of show where it's just like it really shows what people are capable of and put in these sort of situations, see what they do and the different personalities, how they interact. And I didn't know Handmaid's Tale was on yet. So
me too. I like the character-driven stories set in like not necessarily weird worlds, but in worlds that test those characters and test their mettle.
Definitely.
You know.
I have a lot of Netflix ones, so I don't know if we want to move on to Netflix or not.
Yeah, let's do Netflix. So I think Netflix shines in their original content, and I just want to knock this off quick because I don't think that their content that they pick up and continue is as good as it was originally in most cases, or has the same tone. And the examples I have for that are Arrested Development and the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, did you watch the Gilmore Girls, Kev? Did you watch that?
No, but I listened to it while my wife watched it, and she hated it.
And it didn't sound as good, huh?
And no, it didn't sound as good to me.
Sounded different.
I'm not going to lie. Different. I've watched most of the Gilmore Girls TV show with my wife at one point or another. I could tell you basically everything that happens, mainly because I like Kirk, who is James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn. And he plays Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the CGI stand-in for Rocket Raccoon. And he is also one of the Ravagers next to Merle there. So I don't mind him. I think he's hilarious. And I think that the, Gilmore Girls is witty, but I think that they change the format a lot of times when they take these things from TV to Netflix, because Netflix doesn't have commercials and they don't have the same restrictions that, like we've been talking about, where they can do what they want. So they made like 1.5 hour long episodes of Gilmore Girls that just didn't work.
Right.
They could have been cut down.
Yeah. I think where they did it sort of right, I think the Trailer Park Boys, the last four
Sure.
seasons, I think, whenever they picked it up, the Trailer Park Boys is super funny. And I think they did it all right. And the last season, or season 3 of Black Mirror,
Yes.
was probably my favorite season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one Netflix picked up. So, yeah, I think they did it right with those two. I'm not too sure about, they brought the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, to
Yeah, I don't
Netflix,
know. I haven't
and
watched that.
don't know.
I heard that wasn't as good. But those are two perfect counterexamples because you're right. I've loved this season of Black Mirror. I can't wait for more Black Mirror.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was, I think Netflix is mostly good, but there are some hit or miss things with it.
Yeah.
So
And when they bring back certain shows like Fuller House, I don't know if we needed that. There's
Nope.
a lot of definitely nostalgia that was there. I mean, I watched the whole first season because of Stephanie. So she's very pretty now. I don't know about they put out another set.
now
another
that she's
season.
off the smack.
What?
Now that she's off the smack.
Oh yeah, and oh man, have you seen? Never mind, I won't even get into it. Well, you can cut this. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Did you see them at the Met Gala?
oh yeah, their Dark Crystal cosplay, that was amazing.
Oh boy. Oh man, that was interesting. I hadn't seen them in a while. I was
Ugh.
like, wow, I'm glad they didn't put them on that show.
Yep.
Cut all that. Anyways,
You know who looked good at the
What
Met
was
Gala though? Tom Brady. Man, that guy looked good.
Oh God. So-
Co-host, he and his wife. She looked all right too.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady, man, that's a handsome dude. Anyways,
Tim,
yeah.
what's your favorite Netflix original?
My favorite. Well, that's a really tough question
Yeah,
because I
that's a
have
tough
two
question.
that
why I'm
stand out
asking it.
really, really big to me. But I think you have to pay homage to House of Cards because House of
Yep.
Cards started this
so
genre.
good.
House
Yep.
of Cards, Kevin Spacey. I mean, the cast that they got there, the show's production, the writing. Look at how kind of almost prophetic this last season was. If you think about the last season, I think came out about this time because the next season's going to air May 30th, but it was about May last year. And you look at the political climate, the picture that they created of that, and then you look at what actually happened in the presidential election. Man, they set us up for this, But everything from start to finish on that show has just been so incredibly written. It keeps you engaged. Like I watch one show and I can't wait to watch the next one. And then when the season's over, I'm pissed. But Kevin Spacey owns that show. I mean, it's just that he created this genre. If they hadn't gotten a big time Oscar winning actor like Kevin Spacey to start this off, who knows, would we be even having this discussion on this podcast today,
No, Frank
I've-
Underwood is my president.
Oh, no question about it. I have a t-shirt. I have an Underwood for President t-shirt. I actually wore it when I went to vote on the
nice.
election day this year. I got a lot of weird looks. People are looking at me like, what the hell is that? I'm like, come on, Frank Underwood, man. That's your president. Put him down on the ballot.
Yeah, see, I have Ash Williams for president. I actually have a lawn sign, a bumper sticker, pencils, and a
Oh.
shirt. So,
Wow, nice.
but yeah, no, House of Cards, every episode is a cliffhanger. I actually just got an email from President Underwood with a trailer for the next season.
Yep, which is
that-
awesome.
That looks amazing.
Oh, it looks so
I
good.
cannot wait. That's what, May 30th, I believe it is?
Yep, May 30th.
Something like that.
Yep.
So that's going to be great.
And it's been really
Jules?
interesting to see as that show goes on. I mean, Kevin Spacey definitely owned it in the beginning, but to see Robin Wright and her character and her presence grow, I mean, she matches him step for step. And
Yes.
man, it just
She is such a smart, strong character.
Oh, yeah.
I love her to death.
yeah, the
Absolutely love
way
her
they
to death.
wrote her and the way that she's played is absolutely fantastic. And then the other guy, Remy Denton, who I don't think I can pronounce his
Remy
name or I
Denton.
don't know his name. That guy just
Yeah.
won an Oscar this year.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah, he
mean-
was great in Hidden Figures.
Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, they get a guy like that, and I know he was in some stuff before, but it definitely elevated his, the public's consciousness of him.
Oh, heck yes.
And now he's getting great roles and getting the recognition he deserved. What a great actor he is.
Yeah, and good for him.
Yep.
Jules, what's your favorite streaming Netflix original?
I'm probably gonna say it's tied, I think, for me. The first few seasons, I think probably up to season 3, of Orange is the New Black is my favorite, and then Stranger Things, which is more recent. But Orange is the New Black, it kind of pushed the boundaries, I think, with what Netflix can really do. And it was an interesting story that was loosely based off of something else, somebody real, and the cast that they got, it was amazing. They weren't anybody really, except for the person that plays Alex Voss. She was from That 70s Show and all that, but it really, was so good for what it was, and the people that they got it. It was just kind of not what you expected, and set in a prison, and it was really interesting first few seasons, but then it kind of for me it wasn't the greatest going forward, and even season 5 I really could not care. But at the very beginning it was very interesting, the storylines that they were taking, and they were going with this sort of how this person develops put into prison, and the people that she interacts with was very interesting. And now these are stars. These no-name people are amazing actresses, and they are stars in their own right now that everyone saw them in Orange is the New Black. Stranger Things, of course, I don't know if I have to explain why Stranger Things is amazing. It's amazing. Can't wait. I don't know if we want to talk about a whole lot about Stranger Things, because I kind of want to have an episode later on about Stranger Things when the new season comes out. But
I actually don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, Stranger Things, definitely. Check it out on Netflix. It's super interesting. It's gonna go somewhere you did not think it would, and the cast is amazing, and we'll talk more about it whenever season 2 comes out. But
that was my tie for my favorite Stranger Things as well.
Really?
Yeah, I just such a great show. I mean, House of Cards, like I said, I got to give props for being kind of the grandfather of all this.
Yeah.
But I watched all 8 episodes of Stranger Things in a day and a half.
Yeah,
I could not stop watching it. And it's I think one of the greatest single seasons of any TV program I've ever watched. Just because the writing, the originality of the content, the performances by the actors, both young and old, and from start to finish, they recreated the 80s better than anything I've ever seen. I mean, retro stuff is really popular right now, but from the theme song to the style of the intro, right down to every little prop on the set, everything was 100% authentic 80s. Perfectly done.
That was that brought me back to my childhood. Like, I could feel that. Oh, so good.
Yeah, super authentic. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I think some other, I guess, honorable mentions for me: Voltron, Legendary Defender.
Yep,
definitely awesome.
Definitely cool show. Yeah, that one, and Series of Unfortunate Events, which I took a liking to, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm very sad that I haven't watched Sense8, The OA, Santa Clarita Diet, Making a Murderer. These are some of the things that I really would enjoy if I had more time. I have seen Marvel's Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, and I'm so looking forward to Defenders. Tim, I know you haven't seen Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
You need to see Jessica Jones.
I know, everybody says that. Jessica Jones is definitely on my list. Some of the others you mentioned, Sense8, even though I heard mixed things about it, I really want to watch Sense8. I watch Orange is the New Black. I think that's fantastic too. I've heard the AO is really good. The other one
I don't know
that I want to watch, where is it? I think it's called Love or something like that. With the girl from Community. That I've heard is pretty good. Yeah.
Yes,
I watched a little bit of Wet Hot American Summer, and that was weird to see these characters kind of play the people they play when they were younger. So that was interesting. And I will say, my mom loves Grace and Frankie, and my wife loves Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So I've got to give endorsements to those because they're definitely hitting their demographic.
I like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. My wife and I watched that too. We haven't seen the second season of it. And with Orange is the New Black, I haven't watched the last episode of season 4.
Oh man,
we stopped.
What are you doing?
We stopped the episode before that because of how that episode ended, and my wife and I just can't go back to it.
So I haven't watched season 4. Yeah. Actually, I watched the way season 3 ended was like insane.
Yes.
So I haven't watched season 4 yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know.
I'll probably
I'm
binge
just-
watch that with season 5 when it comes out in June.
Yeah. I still need some time to get back into that. We'll watch the last episode before season 5 becomes available for actual Netflix use rather than pirating it.
Yeah.
Definitely. We had some people tweet us their favorite Netflix shows. We had
Perfect.
a few other podcasts. The at Minute podcast said Making a Murder, and we don't even like shows about creepy murder stuff. That was their
Nice.
favorite. At JNR Geek Out Pod, Jess and Rashad Geek Out, Daredevil definitely, and also a huge fan of The Man in the High Castle. So definitely tweet them back, Kevin, and tell them that you watched that show and you really
Perfect.
enjoy it too.
Yeah, I'll yell at them.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can
I
get
don't
them
know.
to spoil it for me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. They'll send you a whole PDF how they're gonna do that for you. The Marvel shows are really good. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, like you were saying, it gets really good. I know a lot of people had a problem with the first couple episodes, and it was a little slower than they would have liked. But if you just stick through Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, it gets really good. All the Marvel shows are pretty good. The OA is way too slow for me. I could not do it. They're hour-long episodes. I really don't care. I got through maybe 2.5 episodes. Man, it looks beautiful. I'm sure it's a good story. I really don't care anymore. I stopped watching it. I can't. I don't have. I found myself on my phone while it was playing, and I was like, oh wow, this is not keeping me interested at all.
But that's sort of the benefit of this is you get all of it up front, so you can just say, you know what, I don't like it, and never have to go back to it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's interesting that you talk about being on your phone, Jules, because a lot of times people are like, oh, why don't you just watch the show? Watch it in the background while you're doing something else. Or
No.
like one of my coworkers, one of Kevin and I's friends, Matt, it's like, oh, yeah, I watch it while I'm cooking. Dude, if a show's good, I needed to give it my full attention. You
Yeah,
know?
definitely.
So background TV watching for me is for stuff that I've watched a million times. It's for reruns of Friends and
Seinfeld
Seinfeld
or
and
something,
Frasier
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and Third Rock from the Sun and stuff like that. You know, that's the kind of thing. How You Met Your Mother. That's what I watch in the background. If it's a new show, if I'm into it, it's gonna get. It's like one of the movies. It's getting my full attention.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
You guys
wrong.
watch Master of None at all?
Yes, Aziz
Yeah.
Ansari.
I love Aziz Ansari.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah, I
Tom
really
Haverford
enjoyed
was my
that.
favorite character in Parks and Rec. Aziz Ansari is absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
But that is a great
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, really. I haven't finished the whole season. I think I've like 7 or 8 episodes, but I really enjoyed it. Definitely worth the
Yeah.
watch.
Super
Yeah.
interesting too. And there's a ton of comedy specials. So I listen to a lot of comedian podcasts, and they just talk about a bunch of stuff, and it's not new, but this new revolution of you need to get a Netflix hour. You need to get a Netflix special because that's the new bar, I think.
It was like the HBO
for
specials used to
comedians.
be.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
and they still have those on the HBO Now and HBO Go. It was really funny. I was watching some old Dave Chappelle stuff, and he looked super young. But
Boy.
yeah, it was pretty funny. Super racist, but whatever. Yeah, so that new Netflix special is the new thing, and I watch a ton of those specials. I like Bill Burr has like 4 of them. Whatchamacallit? There's a ton of people that have multiple Netflix specials, and that's
Aziz Ansari's
You
got 2
know,
of them, and they're both
yeah,
fantastic.
Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of them out there, and it's amazing. I really love what they're doing for comedians, and they're giving them the opportunity to probably do it at a attainable cost. I don't know how much it is to make those, but
I'm sure it's
it
not much.
seems
They're
like-
doing the shows
no.
anyway.
Well, filming
but-
costs so much less
Yeah.
than it used to now. That's the big
Yeah,
thing. Cameras
exactly.
are lighter weight, cheaper, and higher quality than they were back when, Eddie Murphy was doing a big 1-hour stand-up. It was a big deal to set up a rig and film those kind of things back then.
Definitely.
Much smaller ordeal now. So that's why you're seeing more of them, I think. Did you watch the Dana Carvey one?
No.
I'm
Or
sorry.
I don't
maybe-
know.
See,
I
you
don't
know
know
what?
if I was. That
This
was the
taps
greatest
into
one.
what I was talking about earlier, where there's too many of them, and I can't keep track of the ones that I have seen and the ones that I haven't seen. Like I couldn't tell you if I've seen both of the Aziz Ansari ones. I've seen one of them. I might have seen both of them. I don't know.
Well, the Dana Carvey one for me, it was actually perfect timing. when it came out was the week of, or maybe even like the day before the election this year.
Okay.
And he starts off talking a lot of politics because obviously he does great impressions and stuff like that.
Definitely.
And it was just, I watched it on the day of the election and it really lifted my spirits. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Cool.
And it was surprisingly funny. Like it's called Straight White Male 60.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously he's like, now I'm at a point in my life where I fit into this stereotype. But am I that stereotype? And he, you know, some of the things he talks about when he's, you know, taking trips with his kid, he totally is. But in other ways, he's totally not. You know, so it was kind of a funny play on where he is in his life and how he tries to, or how he views himself differently. You know, very funny.
Awesome.
There's one, what you call it? Hannibal Buress has a ton of them. Bo Burnham are really funny, and I think they're sort of from my age group, but I think anybody would enjoy his music, and they're super funny. David Cross had one coming out, or had one, Making America Great Again, and that sort of came out around election time as well, and that was pretty interesting.
I love David Cross, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris D'Elia is someone that I saw, I think, a couple weeks ago. I saw his Netflix special pop up, and I was like, okay, cool, because I kind of went through most of like the big names, and I was like, who's this guy? And it was super funny, and now I follow him on Twitter, and I listen to his podcast, and it's like a super good way for people to get this sort of comedic content. Just put it right where everybody's at. Netflix. Everybody's at Netflix. Put all these comedians on there. Yes. If you don't have Netflix, please tweet us, and I want to know what you do with all your time.
Yeah, and if you work for Netflix, maybe pay us.
Yeah,
definitely.
we've done a pretty big
Netflix.
Netflix commercial here for about an hour. So
yeah,
there you
so
go.
like we make the commercial first, right, and then they pay us.
I think that's how
we
it
do
works.
it, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
we want to show them the value of the
Sponsored.
content and then let them decide what they should pay us.
No,
So
they're
that,
gonna pay us. Like
That about does it for the topic. Jules, is there anything else we need to talk about before we sign off?
next week.
Next week,
Well, we know what
We
that
know what's
is. We
going
don't
on.
even
We
need to
know
think
what's
about it
going
this
on.
week.
Guardians.
Just gotta let them know.
Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy.
So yeah, I have a few cool questions that we can talk about at the beginning instead of instead of doing nerdy news, if that's cool. Just sort of like a discussion about some things about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
we'll talk about the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie. We're gonna go watch it.
I would say it might be an
extra.
extra long episode, guys, because I think we will do nerdy news because we need to give something for people to listen to the first couple of days that we drop the podcast. For
definitely.
those suckers that can't get out there, opening night or opening day to see
Who we
this
still
fantastic
love.
movie. Yeah, suckers, we love you. Kevin and I still on the fence. May or may not be doing a Facebook Live. So if you're listening to this between now and tomorrow night, try and tune in to our Facebook Live event. If it happens, we will be spamming your news feed, and check it out, man.
Yeah. So you can
Sounds
go
good.
check out the Facebook Live event that may or may not happen on Facebook, Nerdy Things Podcast at Nerdy Things Pod, on Twitter at Nerdy Things Pod, on Instagram. You can email us nerdythingspod@gmail.com. And you can email us some whatever you want. Gripes, tell us how much you hate us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want us to talk about next. Or are there any nerdy news that we missed? Go ahead and email us, tweet us at NerdyThingsPod on pretty much everything.
And
I like
soon you'll be able to find us at nerdythingspod.com as well.
Right on.
What? Mind blown.
Hey, I've got
Heard it
a
here
topic I
first.
did want to bring up just before we get off. We haven't talked about this one in a while, but the movie Hook was
I like to thank
such
Gypsy
a
for the
great
use of his song.
film.
Friends don't let friends go to
Robin
TGI
Williams
Fridays.
at his best. Dustin Hoffman at his best.
You
John
can hear more of his
Williams
music
at
on
his
dipsy.bandcamp.com. He just released a new album called The Stoic that everyone should check out. Anyways,
The Stoic.
that's it. See you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.